Greetings, me old spotted jacks and 16 calls and popty bloody pings, and how the devil are ya? I hope you're well. So we've had a bit of an issue with the last video. I will live in Liverpool. It's currently uploading now, so I will upload it. But I will live in Liverpool, and I were going off El Atticus Navicus, to be honest. I knew I had to go under the what's the thingy-majiggy-malarkey, under the Mersey Tunnel, but I wasn't 100% sure of exactly where I was going. So I basically just relied on the sat-nav. I'd had a look on Google Earth on my bloody phone beforehand and had a look where roughly where the job was. And for some reason I'd pressed start on Google Earth, so it was trying to sat-nav me to it. So whilst we were driving, the phone, obviously, camera's up here, I do believe it would have cut my vocals off, which is not necessarily a bad thing, let's have it right. You know, cutting me off chatting shit is not necessarily a bad thing. But it would have been very, very loud at various points with the turn left at the end of the street and blah, blah, blah. So I've decided I'm loading it up anyway. I'm not going to not load it up. But, you know, you'll watch it when you watch it. But if you're wondering why on the last video, which is currently uploading as I say right now, if you're wondering what crack is, that's what happened. And I couldn't stop and sort it out, so just had to carry on. Anyway, so much for me thinking I'd been to the site before where we loaded at in Birkenhead, mate. I hadn't. I thought we was going to a timber yard. We wasn't, a million miles away from where I thought we was going. The reason I got confused is because I'd been round the corner from this place at a holding area a few weeks ago, waiting to go into the Royal Hoylake Golf Club to collect porter cabins for back up north. That's where I'd got confused. But anyway, we've not loaded timber, we've got steel on, we've got mesh steel. And we're going to a place at Wiltshire called Melksham. So pretty much from here now, I've got this on, which makes no odds. Pretty much from here now, we're on the M6, we've come out of Birkenhead before.
200 yards, go round the roundabout, first exit.
Yeah, we've come out of Birkenhead before, we've come down the 53 onto the 56, and I've just stopped at Chester Services temporarily there. So I'm going to get back on the M56 now.
Go round the roundabout, first exit.
We're going to go up to the M6, we're going to run down the M6 to the M5, we're going to run all the way down the M5. Now I could cut across over via Birdlip. Where's this coach going, pal? I could cut, no you bugger, no signal on. If it put his bloody indicator on, I could have been bloody out then, but you don't know. So you've no indicator on, they're pulling in services. If you don't know, you don't know. This one's just nearly caused an accident. He's tried to flash me out, fair play to him. Right, he's going in services, he's my blocker, wagging. Fair play to this little grey Corsa, he tried to flash me out, but then the silver Corsa tried to flash me out, and then this grey car come burning right corner at him and flashing his lights and giving him hand gestures for disco dancing and shit. Right. do, push pineapple, grind coffee, one of them I think he gave him. Anyway, yeah, so we're on the M56 minutes. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down the M6, on the 56 now, up the 56, across the 56, whatever the case may be, 6. We're going to go down, up here now, onto the M6, down to the M5. Now I could come off for Birdlip. It's a bloody heck of a hill that. I really can't be arsed with that. So what we might do instead is carry on down the M5 all the way to the side of Bristol, Avonmouth, and then swing a left onto the M4, up the M4, and then cut across for Chippenham to Melksham. That'll be tomorrow's tip. I mean, we've got loads of time left. It's only 2:05 now. But I started this morning at 4:15. I was in yard early this morning for 4 o'clock. I started at 4:15. It just in order to get down to Liverpool for 8:30, you see. So we've all day to run at. I mean, another 2 hours now will put me to 4:15. That'll be 12 hours. Technically run till 5 o'clock. Well, I mean, technically I could run till bloody what? 7 o'clock or 7:15. But again, I don't really see point, to be honest. I don't see the point of going into a 15-hour shift, possibly a 10-hour drive, if we're not going to get tipped tonight. So we'll more than likely just do a 12-hour shift, or just under a 13-hour shift, and then we'll get parked up. I know a little place I'm going to hopefully park at. We'll take it from there. So we'll be going into this place tomorrow morning to get tipped. Now I have a funny feeling after that, I'm not a million miles away, I have a feeling I'm going to be going into Frome for concrete. In fact, I'd like to go into Frome for concrete. Hopefully somewhere like Aberdeen, right up Scotland, I'd like to go with it. That'll do, mate. Frome would be great, right, for concrete. Really would be good. Well, we shall see. That's tomorrow's worry. There's a guy in a class 2 tipper here outside of me. He's matching me, even Stevens. There's not a cat and else chance of getting past me. I could back off and let him go. I think I might do in a minute. He's never going to get past me. He's just going to end up blocking the motorway. When this wagon starts bearing down on him in a minute, I'll back off and let him go. I don't know why they come alongside you when they couldn't out get past you. I'm just edging back out in front of him. Otherwise I'd back off and let him come through. But he's not got the momentum now. I'm flying up. Yeah, I'm pulling away from him now, so I'm not backing off yet. But a funny feeling he's going to come back at me shortly though. Here he comes. Now he probably knows that I'm bearing down on this little truck in front. So if he can stick with me till I start running up this truck's arse, I'm going to have to back off anyway and he'll pass me. There's a truck up my... The reason I've not backed off just yet is because there's a truck up my arse. It's an inconvenience to him or her who's right up my riggers. If I just back off the gas or drop it off 2 miles an hour. But again, we're pulling away from this guy now. Shame, I was rather enjoying looking at his Reynolds truck. Looks nice. Doesn't seem to be quite level. It needs adjusting. And I've dropped the gummit down here. I can't get it. I can't reach my bloody thing. Why it's done that, I've no idea. Must be when we come out in services before. It's an older trailer one I've got on. And it's alright, it does job, but I'd sooner I want a new one on. But again, I'll probably end up with this all week now, this trailer. I've run away with it this morning. More than likely I'll end up on it all week. Which will be fine, it is what it is. Some mirrors, slip road. Nothing coming towards us. stuck in the moment, we can't get out of it. You got stuck in the moment and you can't get out of it. Answers on a postcard. I'll give you a clue. U2. U2 could win. Yeah, U2. Is it called Stuck in the Moment or something like that? You've got to get yourself together. You got stuck in the moment and you can't get out of it. I do apologise to anyone from Bobby Morris Pickinville. It was a dreadful rendition of your accent, but there you go. Yeah, I'll probably run you up to about, I don't know, Keele or Stafford, I think. Cut you loose there. Yeah, I think Keele or Stafford will be fine. Be about a 40-minute video or something then, won't it? Well, maybe longer, maybe an hour, I don't know. Yeah, I really was convinced that I was going for timber before because I didn't get told what I was picking up. It just was an address and a reference number. And obviously I'd not been to that particular steel place before, so I didn't know what crack was. You went in on one side, booked in on Weybridge and all that, then I'd come out, back out again and took main road, turn left, go down a bit, then turn right and go into Dockside. And then obviously repeat the process in reverse, coming back in for thingy-majiggy-malarkey. But I was convinced I was going somewhere loading timber. I wasn't. I'm loading corrugated mesh steel. Or steel mesh, whatever the case may be. It's alright, loads of load to me. Oh, there must be a fishing match on there. There's loads of them with poles out. Yeah, loads of load to me, pal. I must admit I'm getting quicker at strapping these loads now. And I'm also, straight away now, I know how many straps I need. I need, you know what I mean? I'm getting into my own routine. The thing what I find bloody annoying, excuse me, mirrors, just mindful. Slip road, now coming down it. The thing what I find bloody annoying is when I go onto building sites, like that building site I've been onto there this morning. To be fair, them lads were alright, they left me to it. They didn't try and jump in. There's nothing worse than going to a building site with a load of concrete. You've strapped the load up yourself, which obviously I'm the driver, so I strap it. You put all your corner protectors on, blah blah blah. You go onto a building site, which 9 times out of 10 is full of shite. So I always pull up and take things off one at a time and stack them up. I don't roll all my straps up straight away, but I'll grab hold of my straps, pull them off the bloody load, and I'll place them all down somewhere out at shite. Then I can wrap them up later or roll them up later at my own convenience when I've took all corners off and that. But you got, what gets on my tits is you go onto building sites, it's knee deep in shit, and before you've even got out cab, there's 3 lads ripping your straps off, they're throwing your fucking ratchets everywhere, your corner protectors are all over the fucking shop, and all your straps are just in puddles and mud and shit, you know what I mean? And you're thinking, hang on a minute lads, I've got a bloody routine here. See, all they want to do is get that fucking load off you. They just want to get that load off and then fuck you off. And it's literally, as soon as you pull in, you get parked up, it's all hands on deck. They're ripping the bloody equipment to smithereens and fucking throwing it everywhere. They then get on, get the crane to lift that. And once they've tipped you, they don't give a fuck about you then. They don't care, they just disappear. They're all gone, you know what I mean? You're just there on your fucking own, walking round and scratching about through puddles of shit looking for your protectors and your straps, and it's fucking minging, do you know what I mean? And that's what really gets on my nerves. I've started telling them now when I get on site, hang on lads, leave me to it, let me get all the straps off first, I'll wrap them up later, but I have my own routine, just you stand back. And they're alright with you then, but it's when, you know, when you get there, they're bloody rushing for get nowhere. It really irritates irritates the shit out of me. I haven't got OCD, but I don't want all my straps in puddles of shit, you know what I mean? All your ratchets thrown down in sludge. No good. It's not sexy. Not sexy at all. As far as sexiness goes, no, it's a no-no. It's a big turn-off. The thing is, they probably mean well, and they think they're doing you a favour. Or you'll get one what'll try and roll your straps up for you, and he'll show off trying to roll it dead fast. And when he's done it, he's rolled it fucking wrong way. You know what I mean? Wrong. He's rolled it inside out to how you have it. So you're like, oh cheers mate. You think I'll just put that to one side, and when it's fucked off in a minute, I'll fucking throw it back out again and wrap it up, roll it up properly. Do you know what I mean? They think they're helping you, but they're more of a fucking hindrance than anything else. Some mirrors, there is one now just joining the slip road. There's a van overtaking me, I can't pull out. There's now a car overtaking me, I still can't pull out. It's now up to them to back off. It's a Mercedes. It's not up to me to move over to let them out. If I can and it's safe to do so, I will always try and move over into lane 2 to let joining traffic filter in onto lane 1. But it's up to them. As far as I'm aware, the highway code states that if you're joining or leaving a motorway, it's up to you to, as the driver, to adjust your speed accordingly. It's not up to the traffic that's already on that motorway to adjust theirs to allow you to come on. But if I can and it's safe to do so, I always try and move across. But when there's traffic passing me, it's bollocks to you. You'll have to fend for yourself, you know what I mean? Tighty, toe, a stinking rotten shoe, dum tighty toe. See, I'm a bit gutted about that video, the last one I've just done. I haven't watched it all the way through. I'm not that way inclined. I don't sit there flicking myself off to my own videos. Do you know what I mean? But I was aware that after 5-10 minutes or something, mirrors just mindful, one lad out here just getting back in. I was mindful after about 5 or 10 minutes that Google Earth was blasting its head off on my phone, so I thought, more than likely what's happened there, it has recorded, I've quickly checked it, but more than likely what will have happened there is that Google Earth, when it's telling me to turn right in the next roundabout, do this, do that, blah 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 blah. Google Earth will probably cut my voice out, so if I'm mid-conversation, all you'll hear is sat-nav talking. But I'm not deleting video for that reason. It was a decent one going through Merseyton, even though we got it wrong bloody late at the end. And we had to pay £8 of our own money. I'll get it back though. So we're going to stay in this right-hand lane here because we're going M6 south, some mirrors. Just keep in this lane, which then becomes one of 2.
400 yards, mirrors. Keep right, then take the motorway.
No gas, just rolling him down here, just tickling and feckling. It bends around sharp to right, some mirrors.
Right,
just going to back him off here and then plants. Signs out warning you, reduce speed now. Oh, there's no excuses. Trucky, he's now what's been up my arse for a while. He's now decided that I'm not going fast enough on this corner for him or her, so he's coming round me. Fair play to him, but I'm not that desperate if I get on. He or she obviously has a deadline to meet. I must admit, I'm not pushed here on this job. We are not pushed. They're not chasing you on all the time. Like that lad there what's just passed me in that FedEx. He's probably been timed to the fucking minute. Do you know what I mean? If he's not down the road, there'll be questions asked. Why have you taken so long to get to that depot? That route planner says you should get there at X, Y, Z. Why haven't you? You're now 4 minutes late. You know, it's a tight ship. I couldn't be doing with that, to be honest. I couldn't be doing with somebody on my case all the time, pushing me on to the next job, to the next depot. We're not pushed here. You're given the work to do and left to your own devices. As long as you're not taking the piss, you never hear from the office. Everything comes through this bloody tablet. Which is grand until, you know, sometimes you need to speak to someone, so you give them a ring. There's no issues. But no, they're not on your case pushing you, and I like that. I do like that. But the previous employers, I'm not going to keep mentioning their names because I've moved on from them now. But at the previous job, it started out brilliant. You wasn't pushed, you wasn't minded. You're just given a job and left to get on with it. Towards the end of my 4 years, you felt pressured to get on and get tipped, and then you were going to another place, but in between they try and squeeze 1 or 2 more jobs in off you. It just became a bit greedy, you know. It was all about let's get as much jobs in as we can, you know, filling your day so you can do this, that and the other. Which is all good and well if you own the company, you're raking in the fucking profits, but if you're just the driver, you're getting paid the exact same wage as what you've always been paid, but you're expected now to double your workload. I don't mind grafting if I'm getting paid for it, but if I'm still getting paid same money as I always was, and yet suddenly you want me double my workload, I ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? I'm not fucking stupid. I'm not 16, 17, 18 year old, young and naive and gullible, working for free. Done all that shit when I was younger. So yeah, I do think at the moment this is probably a good move for me coming here. Now as I've got the other place out my system, it took a couple of months, but they're out my system now, and I really have settled in here. It's not a 9 to 5 job, is this though? It really isn't. I mean, mirrors. When I was coming home on Friday, I'd loaded at Burton-on-Trent with a load of roof tiles for a place in Glasgow, Bishop's Briggs, where I went the other week, and I'd done the little video leaving there. I got told halfway back on Friday, oh, that load's not going now till Tuesday, so you won't be able to take it. Just drop it off in the yard when you get back. Take your straps off, and you want to be picking up trailer XYZ for Monday. Unfortunately, it's an 8:30 tip. So I knew on Friday that on Monday I'm going to have an early start. But I had a late finish Friday because we hit all sorts of traffic coming back. So it was like gone 8:30 before I got back to the yard. So then I had to drop that trailer I had on, take all straps off and corner protections, then pick this one up, which I've just tipped this morning, and I've reloaded now for Liverpool. I thought, well, listen, I'm going to be coming in early on Monday anyway to get away for 8:30, but I don't want to have to get up an extra hour early to come in and strap the bastard. It might be pissing down, it could be anything. It was a lovely night on Friday, so I thought, bollocks to it, I'll just get it strapped now. So I did it on Friday, and then I went home to my wife, who was knackered and ready for bed. Another 10 minutes she'd have been in bed. And obviously I have to go away early this morning to get to Liverpool for 8:30. So you've got to take the rough with the smooth. You've got to take it with a pinch of salt. It is what it is. You can't, you know, it's not a regular 9 to 5 job where you're clocking on at one time, clocking off at the next. It doesn't work that way. I think it's one of them jobs you're either going to take to or you're not. Truck driving in general, you're either going to take to it or you're not. And a lot of people are not cut out for it. Not bad people, they're just not cut out for it. Because it's a bad lifestyle. It's not the healthiest of lifestyles. I'm doing a lot more exercise with strapping loads than I was when I was at the previous place, just pushing a fucking button. But you're working long hours all week, you're out in all frigging weathers, piss wet through. Your sleeping pattern's shite, your eating habits are shite. You're literally eating shite. faint-hearted. It's one of them jobs you either take to or you don't. Personally, I love it. I've slotted into it naturally, mate. It seems natural to me. I only wish I'd have done it 20 years ago, but life got in the way. So this is Knutsford services. I'll probably throw you into Keele actually, and I'll call it a day. I want to get on there. I'll probably post this video tomorrow. I'm just on with uploading the last one, so this one will probably get posted tomorrow. So I really don't like giving my location away of where I'm going to and where I'm possibly going to be staying tonight. You know what I mean? Now I'm not frightened. It's not that I'm frightened or anything. I'm not. But it's, to me, you're advertising. Oh, there's a truck going to be at such and such a lay-by tonight, and it might be full of diesel, so go around and nick it. You know what I mean? Or you're advertising. I mean, it's not so bad with this. I'm a flatbed, so it's all mesh corrugate, mesh fencing type of bloody steel. What's on back of here? So there's nobody going to be nicking this. But if you're on the cut inside and nobody knows what you've got inside it if you're loaded, it's easy. It's easy to wake up when your cutsies have been slashed up through your own fault for advertising where you're going to be parking that night. Do you know what I mean? So I don't like doing it. Getting ready for some tea now. I don't know. I'm getting a bit hungry. A beautiful day, paradise in the DAF XF 530. Road conditions are very dry. It's a little bit scorchy or sunshine outside. A bit of a breeze, but that sun's just coming up the canopy here and trying its best for to tickle my eyelashes. Tickling flange, lad. Tickling flange. Fringe, that is. Not had one for years. I've not bought shampoo, me, for 22 years. Or brush my hair. I mean, I still have a comb. I just can't part with it. Get past this van. I'm past it, but I'm not past it, if that makes sense. I'm 3/4 of the way past it and he's trying to come back at me. That's why I'm still sat out in lane 3. I don't pull in on him. He's not like it. Look right. I'm also creeping up on this one in lane 2 now, and I'm mindful that in front of it there's a tanker. I'm going to creep up on that. Tanker's just putting its brake lights on, probably exhaust brake. Just going to pass this now. Steady flow of traffic here on the motorway. I can't see what's in front of that grey van in front of us in this lane, but I've got enough of a gap in front of us not to be worried about it. I'm going to pass this one here on the left hand side and I'm going to slot back in. Just mindful now as I'm thinking about slotting back in, and there he goes, indicators coming on. I was just mindful that truck was just pulled into lane 2 was closing up on the one in front. However, it shouldn't affect us, but I'm just going to stay out for now. We are bearing down on it and he's closing right up the arse of the tanker in front. So I'm just going to stay out in this lane for now. Just for now. If I go up his arse in front and tanker slams on, I can't see tanker then because I'm up his arse. I'm knackered. We're both knackered. Right, mirrors, tanker's pulled in. Just mindful because we're burning down, closing in slowly on this thing, so we're not just going to come back into lane 2 just yet. This is now another blue truck. what will be 3 in front of this, 2 in front of this one. There's tankers in front of this one now, this wagon and drag. And tanker and the wagon and drag are bearing down on it. This guy's going to undertake me. And he comes across now, we'll get into lane 2. Not coming into lane 2 just yet because I'll be right up his arse and I can't see. I then can't see what's in front of him. But we are still gradually creeping up on this guy. We're going to take him. Tanker's just coming back out again. We're going to take this one and we'll probably take tanker as well now. First we take New York and then we take Berlin. So if I'd have come back in then I'd have come back out again. In, out, you shake it all about. Does that make sense? We've took New York, now we're taking Berlin. Stick your scanier up your ass. I'm in a DAF XF530 and it isn't quite a fast. I'm going considerably faster than you. Just mindful of this thing what's just been pulled in front of me. The tanker's come in, so we're now going to come into lane 2 finally. Just mindful of this blue car now what's just sat idling in front of us. You know what, we're going to come for lane 1. We'll just clear the tanker properly. Yeah, he's flashing us in, lad. He's flashing us, he's flashing us. Just clear lane 1. Well, sorry, clear lane 2. We'll come into lane 1. We'll just hold our course now. So if we do end up overtaking this car, this blue car, it doesn't matter because we've held our course for so long. Stinky rotten swiney choo-choo, stinky rotten bloody shit. Wow, 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 wow. Shivering for my doo-da-ba-da. Work for my daddy-o. Work for my daddy-o. Mirrors, there's whiskey in your gyro. As I was going over the Cockpit Kerry Mountain, I saw Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. First produced my pistol, then produced my rapier. Said, stand and deliver, or the devil he may take you. A shivering dabba-doo-dabba-da. Work for my daddy-o. Work for my daddy-o. Mirrors, there's whiskey in the gyro. Beautiful song. It's an old Irish folk song, the original version. Then Thin Lizzy had the hit with it. Since Thin Lizzy had a hit with it, Metallica did a cover version of it. Metallica's nowhere near as good. Thin Lizzy was the best version of it, I think. But that song probably goes back donkey's bloody years. I've heard the Dubliners doing that for years. I mean, they're all pretty much deed off now, apart from John Sheenan, I think he's the last surviving original Dubliners member. The rest are all dead. They had a combined age of about 3006 between them. And even they said it was an old Irish folk song that goes back hundreds of years. But it's been around a long time, that song. Well, the biggest hit to date was Thin Lizzy's. Or the best pop rock record hit with the song was Thin Lizzy's. Metallica are a great band, but a load of shite compared to Thin Lizzy. And Metallica are a lot more heavier than Thin Lizzy, though. But not as heavy as proper heavy metal bands, are they? So we're at Junction 17, Congleton Sandbatch. I'm not going to pull him into Sandbatch, I'm going to run it into Keele, I think, and then we'll cut you loose. So I heard on the grapevine, on the old social media grapevine today, that is my fucking news feed. I'm not in any proper grapevine pages per se. But I heard that Peter Kay's wanting to bring back Phoenix Nights for a Christmas special. Fair play to him, but you know what that says to me? That says to me he's no fucking material. He's no new material. He's no new material, and his fucking comeback concert's probably a load of shit. So he's peddling out Phoenix Nights again, Christmas special. I'm keen to do Phoenix, I bet, yeah. Which, I've no doubt, will probably be funny. But would Paddy McGuinness look the same in it as Max and Paddy? You know what I mean? Would Paddy McGuinness come back in it? I'd say he would, because without Peter Kay, Paddy McGuinness wouldn't have had a career. Paddy McGuinness would be flipping burgers in McDonald's without Peter Kay. Peter Kay is solely responsible for Paddy McGuinness's career. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't find Paddy McGuinness remotely funny. He's probably a nice lad, I've never met him. But I don't think he's funny, I don't think he's talented in any way, shape or form. I think Paddy McGuinness personally has stole a living off the back of Phoenix Nights and Peter Kay. But he was Peter Kay's mate, wasn't he? That's how he got in all that. Fair play to Paddy McGuinness, I do not blame him. Grasp it with both hands if he can get it. Fair play to him. He's made a fucking fortune. But I don't think anything they put him on, apart from that no likey, no larty, which, you know, let's be honest, anybody with the fucking intelligence and brain cells of an ant could present that show. It's not rocket science presenting that. No likey, no larty. You girl, he boy. Come out with cheesy chat-up lines, and that's it. Let the dog see the rabbit. You know what I mean? Load of shit. And that's all Paddy McGuinness is good for, in my opinion. I've nothing against the man, I don't know him. Well, he's no talent, he's fucking stole a living. But fair play to him, every credit to the man. I hope he's got as much money as he can get. Mirrors, I'm coming out, there's a truck coming down Slip Road. And I've never met Peter Kay. Oh, sorry, I have met Peter Kay once, years ago, at a train station, Piccadilly train station at Manchester. Got on train with him back to Bolton. I had a brief chat with him, only briefly. I was on leave from the army, so I'm going back 20 odd years ago. He'd been a wedding in Manchester with his missus who gave him a train back to Bolton. But I think Peter Kay was funny 20 odd years ago. I think he was fucking hilarious. He hit on something 20 years ago, 20 odd years ago. Peter Kay hit on something which was fucking genius. Observational comedy, started going on, telling about what everybody experienced as kids, videotapes, taping charts, and your dad doing chippy tea and garlic bread. It was perfect, absolutely perfect. Since then, it's just my humble opinion, I think Peter Kay's gone downhill. Don't get me wrong, the car show thing was alright. I wasn't overly impressed with it, but a lot of people raved on about it and said it was brilliant. But since Phoenix Nights, and he'd done his tours and all that, and his stand-up show, I think he's gone dry. I don't think he's as good. That's just my opinion. I don't think he's I don't think he's as funny anymore. But I think he's of his time. I think 20 years ago he hit on something perfect. I don't think it would be the same second time round. Do you know what I mean? When he did that Geraldine and all that with the fucking X Factor thing, and then they did the singing, you know, I didn't think any of that were funny. I thought it was shit. I thought all that were crap. I thought Phoenix Nights was good. Phoenix Nights was really good. But again, I think Phoenix Nights now, for me, is of its time. I don't see how they could come back round with it again and still be doing the same shit as they did 20 years ago. And I really do think Peter Kay's of his time now. Yeah, never met the man. I've nothing against him. But I don't think his fucking humour with his garlic bread shit, I don't think that's relevant anymore. I don't think it would cut it with today's youth, I really don't. But, hey, what do I know? Jack shit. Opinions are like arseholes, aren't they? We all have one and most of them stink. And for what it's worth, that's just my opinion and 2 pence worth. But I'm quite sure Peter Kay lives in a lot bigger house than me. He'll be mortgage free and he's got a few quid in bank. You know what I mean? Well, I'm like literally fucking 3 mortgage payments away from being on streets in a cardboard box. I've got a back garden wall that's about fucked with damp, and it needs fucking replaced and I can't afford it. An external wall on gable end of the house what needs painted, I can't afford to get that done, and I've not got the ladders or the scaffolding up and do it myself. Do you know what I mean? MOT's due on car next month. Gas bill's gone fucking astronomical, and so's the lecky for that reason. You know, just like anybody else, I've got bills to pay. So I'm sure Peter Kay is a lot more wealthier than me and my wife. I'm sure Peter Kay and his wife is a lot more wealthier than me and my wife, and have not got any money worries at all. There's always somebody worse off than yourself, though. Mirrors, I'm coming across, because that one's going over to Nanbridge and Crewe. Just mindfully, this car doesn't know, has just realised it's in wrong way, she's going to come up the front in trunk. Right, going from 50 to 40. We're coming towards Liverpool, towards Birmingham, what do you expect? Yeah, I'm going to throw him in at Keele. I'm going to put kettle on and make him brew at Keele, actually. But what I would like to do after I've tipped this tomorrow at Melksham or whatever it's called, I would quite like to get it sent across to Frome and put one on for fucking Aberdeen. That'll do me fine and dandy, thank you, on a Tuesday. So you know they're not going to get to Aberdeen until late Wednesday afternoon. So you'll be tipping that Thursday morning. Yeah, I would like a Frome to Aberdeen. That'd suit me down to fucking ground. That'd be lovely. Ah, this is problem here, there's 2 cars. He's broke down and he's pulled in hot out shoulder there if I'm going to have a chat with him. That's his mate up there with crutches. So he's broke down and abandoned it on Central Reservation. And his mate pulled up 100 metres away, gone and had a chat with him. Fuck job up. I think that's what's happened, I don't know. But we're moving now, we're past it. Just mindfully, there's the great big frigging divots in bloody road. Some mirrors. tank of fuel, which is not bad from Carlisle this morning. Carlisle this morning down to Liverpool, tip Liverpool, run out under the tunnel, Birkenhead, reloading, back down here, just on half a tank now, so just above. It's not bad going. Diesel that is, with pretty much a full tank of AdBlue left. This thing's quite good on AdBlue, this. The Scania used to guzzle AdBlue. This thing's quite good. One full tank of AdBlue, you don't normally have to fill up for the rest of the week. One full tank of AdBlue on the Scania, and I would be having to look for somewhere to top it up midweek. Fill it back up again midweek and then top it up on a Friday back in yard. This thing you don't necessarily have to worry. You can probably get 2 weeks out of this. I always top it up on Friday, it's just instilled into it. I always fill it back on Friday. Mirror's my fault, there's a van at our shoulder here. No lights on it, but looking for a fella. I didn't see him sat in it there, so he's going to be mooching about in bushes somewhere. Lurking and meandering. Lurking about a bit. Yeah, I'll post this video tomorrow. The other one from this morning should have uploaded now, I think, I hope. We'll have a look when we get parked up at Keele in a minute. Yeah, it'll be brew time at Keele. Brew time at Keele, lad, brew time at Keele. Garlic bread. A lot of people think I sound like Paddy McGuinness and Peter Kay, you know. I think it's just a regional accent thing, because Bolton's not far off Wigan, is it? Personally, I think both of them sound like me, but you know, as I said before, it's just a pity no bugger's ever heard of me, and they're quite wealthy, successful TV personalities, the pair of them. transport tonight. However, we're 1 mile off Keele, so it's not worth checking him. So I'm just going to throttle back 2 miles an hour. Back him off. Because personally, 1 mile I don't think I'd have enough time to get past it. We'll just hold it back a bit. Looking how that thing's strapped there. It's got chocks on it as well. I've not done anything that size before with big reels like that. I reckon I could strap that one. I'd have to have somebody check it over on site. But God forbid that should strap come loose. And it just rolls off down motorway. A big wagon wheel, do a lot of damage that. Anyway, in between 3 and 2, 100 yards, we're coming off at Keele where we shall end this video. And I'll crack on with the rest of the day. Right, cheers pal. I've been your old mate Borothea, backing him off. Once again, you my friend have been beautiful. I hope you've enjoyed this. Me rambling shite basically, travelling down the M56. Stay safe and all that crap. I can hate coming in here, it's bumpy as fuck. There we go, this is our space here, see? Slot him in here. Yeah, stay safe and all that crap. Whatever you're up to with the rest of the day, have a good one. Have a good evening, and I'll speak to you on the next one. Thanks very much, I'll see you later. I'm out of here. Ta-ra.